My favorite AP folks. Hopefully you had a good day yesterday. Everything went as smoothly as it possibly could. Let's dive right into what we got going on today. Remember, I'm starting here on the classroom homepage because just a reminder that if you do need some assistance, some help, ask a question, just say hello, break up the monotony of the day. Feel free to jump on the Zoom. I'll have it open for the entirety of the class period. I did have Mrs. Pierce check that for me yesterday, so that is working. You might get dumped into a waiting room to start off with, but I'll let you in. So let's jump into what we're going to do today. First thing is going to be our Grandma Nancy warm up. It's going to be imagery. It's from The Story of My Life by Helen Keller. I won't insult your intelligence that you don't know how to read, but remember that imagery, when the author is trying to put the reader or give the reader a specific idea of what they should see at that moment. Obviously, and the question here kind of alludes to this, that Helen Keller was blind and deaf, so tactile imagery became a focus in her writing. Go ahead and do number one and number two like usual. And then go ahead. The apply is probably not the best way, probably not COVID friendly. It asks you to like touching objects around you and then having a conversation with someone. Let's go ahead and skip the apply. So just number one and number two, go ahead and lead the discussion. If Reagan still has the Grandma Nancy book, Reagan can be the person in charge. If not, then somebody else can kind of take the lead there. The next thing that we're gonna do after we do our Grandma Nancy warm up and our discussion is you're going to read, and I'll let you guys read it together. You're going to read chapter one or part one of Kafka's Metamorphosis. So it's only three parts. It's not very long if you've looked at it in your textbook. It shouldn't take you very long to read, but I do want you guys to read chapter one together because I think that might lead to a little bit of discussion and maybe you guys can clarify any questions you guys have. But as you watch the Kafka-esque video, I hope that you caught on to some of the themes and some of the things he likes to write about because metamorphosis can be really difficult if you don't sort of understand that like we are intentionally being placed in a really weird scenario, right? Gregor, our protagonist, is going to wake up as an insect, and you kind of have to like just accept that premise. It's really difficult to dive into the piece without accepting the premise of him waking up as an insect. But after you kind of like get pushed past that first sort of like awkwardness of Gregor being a bug, we're able to kind of look at a lot of the themes that Kafka likes to discuss. Our allegiances to our family and sometimes the utility of our relationships as opposed to, are our relationships based on love or what you can do for someone. Gregor is going to be really concerned with like getting to work and just kind of this large irony that Gregor is becoming a bug, which seems like a fairly large problem. One of his biggest issues is like just going to work, and upsetting the boss or upsetting the company that he works for. So as you're reading chapter one, feel free to have a discussion, ask questions, clarify for your classmates, just so we kind of understand what's going on there. Then we're going to kick over and on Classroom, I'll have posted a close reading exercise. So I don't care if you do this together with a partner. You're going to look at Kafka's word choice in the description of the hospital in paragraph 26. The paragraphs are marked. The paragraphs are notated in your book. So it's on page 202. And look at his syntax and his diction, so how he puts sentences together, and the word choices that he used to show how these choices establish a tone or emphasize a theme. And I understand that theme can be difficult, especially in chapter one, but hopefully we should be starting to see like the beginnings of how an author develops a theme, even in the first third of a book. All right. If you have any extra time left after that, you can work on your reduction for in 1984. If you'd like, remember that's due on Friday. Also, if everyone is done, one of the things that you could work on is you could go back to the anticipation guide. I'm not sure how far you got today, but you could work on the anticipation guide a little bit as a group, have a little bit of chat together in that regard. So again, remember, I'm available, remind, email, Zoom, all acceptable. And if you have any questions, please reach out. All right. All right. That's all I got, and we'll get after it again tomorrow. I'm gonna push back. I just remember I'm gonna push back the vocab test since we weren't able to do any sort of gim kit or anything like that. We'll push back this week's vocab into next week when I return. So let's just do that. Have a great day. We'll check in again tomorrow. Hope to see a couple of you on the Zoom today.